We jump right into today's news video as Cody Rhodes has mentioned in the past where he said that he would have a weight belt at WrestleMania, or his weight belt at WrestleMania would be tributing his past and tributing where he came from or what he was up to during his time away from WWE. And I think a lot of people figured that it may be it may be logos on his weight belt, but it is actually that he wrote names of every company he worked for in the time that he left WWE, from the time that he left WWE in 2016 till he returned last year. I think that the main reason why he likely did not do logos is because he knew that WWE would probably not be happy or may not let him use logos on his weight belt because it would be publicly advertising other companies at WrestleMania. But putting them on the inside of the weight belt and writing the names, you're not giving the same to those companies. You're giving the companies the same time of day, but not in the same form. But props to Cody Rhodes for tributing those companies that basically, in his mind, gave him the opportunity to become the man he is today, challenging Roman Reigns for the World Championship at WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, though, Mustafa Ali, is set to, according to Worked Wrestling, is set to have a match, or set to have some sort of a feud or matches following WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. So it does seem like, according to Worked Wrestling, that that Mustafa Ali might be in line for a push following WrestleMania through a feud, or with a feud with Seth Rollins, or having a feud with Seth Rollins. So props to Ali for finally getting that feud, that push that he's most definitely deserving of. Speaking of and another update is that Nigel McGuinness posted an update in a recent interview about his release from WWE, saying that he was happy to be a part of the company for as long as he had been, and that he was happy to be able to watch the next generation come to do their work and learn and take the steps forward that he was working with NXT Level Up and all the other smaller companies. But following the end of NXT UK, he was not surprised that his contract was not renewed. So props to Nigel McGuinness for having a positive outlook on something that most people would find very negative, but props to him for being very positive. And now we shift gears to a report from PW Mania that we have another induction into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame, as former WWE Tag Team Champion Paul London is going into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame this year as the next member of the second class of the Hall of Fame and the sixth member of this year's class. This is, for those who may not be aware, Game Changer Wrestling started it last year in conjunction with WrestleCon and Fight. It is the collective, as I completely agree that people like Paul London and Excalibur and Dave Prazak and Tracy Smothers, who have done a lot for independent wrestling, deserve the opportunity to be honored in the form of a Hall of Fame, as I'm a big fan of Hall of Fames, as WrestlingExpress.net has a Hall of Fame, but I'm a big fan of Hall of Fames and honoring talent with the respective honor, or with the prospective honor of being included in the in the prospective Hall of Fame. And as it says in 2022 Game Changer Wrestling and Orange Crush magazine, established the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame with Lufisto, inducted by Lenny Leonard. Dave Prazak, inducted by CM Punk. The late Tracy Smothers, inducted by Nate Webb, accepted by Chris Hero. Ruckus, inducted by Sanjay Dutt. Homicide, inducted by Chris Dickinson. And Jerry Lynn, inducted by Sean Waltman, were members of the first class of the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. This year, thus far, there is Christopher Daniels, who is inducted by his longtime partner, Frankie Kazarian. Alex Shelley is inducting Jimmy Jacobs. Cheerleader Melissa is getting inducted by Dave Prazak. Barry Blaustein is inducting Mike Modest. And yet to be determined for Excalibur and Paul London, who will be inducting those two. I think Lufisto, Dave Prazak, Tracy Smothers, Ruckus, Homicide, and Jerry Lynn. I do believe that if they're going with the same amount of inductees as they got in last year, then I do believe it is very possible that that is it for this year's class for the Hall of Fame. But who really knows as far as that's concerned? The Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place Sunday, April 2nd at the Millennium Ballroom, Millennium Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. Seating is available at VIP tables, and seating at the VIP tables is still available for $49. WrestleCon pass included. Again, I'm super excited to see those who deserve to be inducted into a Hall of Fame getting the honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now we got a little nugget of jubilation to get to, and that is that with the Hell in a Cell coming up and the end of the Judgment Day rivalry with Edge, it is prompting rumors that Edge may be bringing back the Brood style Edge to go along with the Demon Finn Balor. And with that rumor, it plays into an old rumor that Gangrel could be coming back for WrestleMania, which would be honestly incredible to see Gangrel back, especially for WrestleMania. I know this is something that WWE wanted to do a few months ago, where they were going to bring back the Brood style, the Brood Edge, and have Gangrel come back with him. Yes, unfortunately, Christian Cage cannot be with Edge and Gangrel, or would not be able to be with Edge and Gangrel in that form, because he is still under contract with AEW. And of course, WWE and AEW do not have the type of partnership where they would be able to do that. But but to have Gangrel show up at WrestleMania would be an incredible sight, because it would be, especially seeing Edge do his Brood entrance with Gangrel, it would be an incredible sight. It would have been better to see it with Christian, but I can understand why Christian is in the position that he's in with AEW, because AEW was giving him the opportunity that WWE may not have been. But either way, it would be a sight to see with Gangrel coming back, or appearing at WrestleMania, if that is something that we do see ahead of the Hell in a Cell match with Edge and Finn Balor. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.